Welcome to Salt City Knits podcast. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. I am really hopeful that my voice is going to cooperate today because I am losing my voice and I have a little bit of a cough. It's just a leftover cough. I got a cold a little over a week ago. You know how it goes. So I've been wanting to record for a while, but I needed to get better enough so I could actually talk. So I'm crossing my fingers. Hey, you can find me at all the information of where you can find me is in the description box below this video. So go and check that out if you are looking for my patterns or my yarn or want to get in contact with me in any way. Today I have life update. Lots to share there. Finished objects, works in progress, some chat about books, and some shop news. And I'm just super excited to get down to it. I've got so much to talk about and to show you because it has been a while. I had no intention of going a while before recording again, but life just got super hectic and, you know, it happens. I'm hoping the lighting is going to be okay today. It is a gloomy day, and I've tried several different combinations of lighting. I hope you'll be able to see colors and things like that. And yeah, hopefully it will all work out. So let's dive right in with Life Update. Before we begin, I think it's so important that I just tell each of you, thank you so much for all of the support you have given me. Last time in my podcast, I shared that we had been really struggling, and I asked that if you were willing, you would go and purchase a pattern to help us get through some rough times. I also told you that if you couldn't purchase a pattern, you wished you could, but you couldn't because you were experiencing challenges like me, please tell me and I would send you a free pattern. Only one person took me up on that. I wish more of you would have taken me up on that. So I'm going to reiterate that here. But so many people were so extremely lovely and supported me in that. And it means so much to me. It really helped us through some rough times there. And I felt so appreciated and so loved. I have sometimes felt a little, I can't even say discouraged because that is not the right word, but maybe a little envious of some other podcasters who have been doing this far less time than I have, but have grown really big, really fast. Sometimes I've let envy creep in there, but you know what? I wouldn't trade you for the world because you are all so lovely. You're so kind and encouraging. You are kind to each other. I never see people being mean to each other in my comments ever. Like ever. Never. You are positive. You're just delightful. And so I see some of those negative things happening for other people who have maybe grown their following quickly and much bigger than mine. They can keep it. I don't want that kind of negativity. And I'm so grateful to have so many wonderful friends here. So thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. So last week we celebrated Thanksgiving here in the US, and we had such a lovely time with our family. It was just my husband and myself and our children. We all went to my daughter Aria's house and she hosted, which was lovely. My parents joined us and we just had such a good time. We had delicious food. We're traditionalists when it comes to Thanksgiving. I know that people have different things that make up their traditional Thanksgiving meal. For us, that's turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing or dressing, depending on what you call it. We don't stuff our turkey, but we call it stuffing anyway. I don't know why. Jell-O, because we are from Utah and we like Jell-O. Cranberry sauce, of course. Candied yams, rolls, and usually some form of green beans. And this year it was a pretty traditional green bean casserole, as well as pie. I mean, we had 10 people. We had 5 pies. There was 5 different flavors. Like there was so much pie. But it was great. We had a lovely dinner and just hung out and talked and played some games and just had a great time. So that was lovely. So I'm just kind of going through my list here. Next, in our church, we have people that choose to serve missions for our church. And that is where our son Isaac is right now. He is serving a mission for our church. So he goes away for 2 years and teaches people about our church and our gospel. He gives tons of service. Some of my children have taught English classes. My son Ethan served his mission in Ukraine and did a lot of teaching English. They do a ton of service, and it's just an amazing experience to share your faith, but also to help others and to have some amazing growing experiences. Well, the kind of age range for girls to serve missions just recently changed. And so our youngest daughter, we thought we were going to have her home for another year. She has always wanted to go on a mission. And that age changed. It didn't change like as a requirement, just as an option. And she immediately knew that she wanted to go sooner. And so she has started the process of preparing to do that. She will have to wait till she's 18, which will still be in the new year, in the spring. So, but it's kind of crazy because all of a sudden, instead of thinking I had like a year and a half, I'm now thinking I have 6 months until my daughter is moving out and we will be empty nesters. And that is bonkers. Bonkers. I just can't believe it. I totally support her in her decision. She knows who she is and what she wants to do. And so I support her, but it's still hard, it's kind of crazy. So that means this year is our last Christmas with her living at home as a teenager. She'll move back when she's home from her mission, but it'll just be different. It always is. So anyway, really exciting for her, but kind of crazy for Richard and I to be thinking about being at that stage of life already. Also relating to Abby, her best friend Leah is actually moving in with us this week. She is also preparing to go on a mission for our church. And she just has some family dynamics that are a little difficult right now. She is going to be moving in with us, and I don't know how much we'll see her. She's an independent, busy girl, but we're going to have her staying with us, and we're really excited about that. So that means that we've been doing some things to get ready for her moving in. So kind of between getting ready for Thanksgiving and starting to get Abby ready for a mission, getting ready for Leah to move in. It just feels like life has been super busy lately, but it's all good things. So that is great. I also mentioned I have had a cold. I am super paranoid because last year I got sick during the same week of Thanksgiving. In fact, I got sick on Thanksgiving. This week it was a couple days before, or this year it was a couple days before Thanksgiving. But I ended up getting pneumonia and I was sick into January. And so I have been so paranoid about that. There's no signs right now of this turning into pneumonia. My chest is totally fine. Any coughing that I have been doing have been tickles in my throat and not anything to do with my lungs. So crossing my fingers, my toes, my eyes, anything to just really hope to not have this get crazy with the illness. Oh, pray for me, please. I just don't want to miss an entire Christmas season again. I missed everything fun last year. And I really don't want to do that again this year. So hopefully everything is going to be good. Talking about my health, I have been having such a stall with my weight loss. I'm between 50 and 53 pounds down, depending on the day. And I've been stuck there for about a month. So I kind of go up a pound or two, down a pound or two, just back and forth, up and down. I did this around 40 pounds and I did it around 30 pounds. So I'm not stressed. I know it's going to resolve, and I'm just continuing with my good habits and trying to be patient. I really wanted to be 60 pounds down by the end of the year, but that is not going to happen. And that's okay, because that was just an arbitrary date. It doesn't really have any bearing on anything long term. But I'm super excited to get through this stall, and I'm sure that it will happen soon. So in the meantime, I'm just trying to be patient and focus on not the result, not just the results of like the scale, but focusing on the good habits. Like, instead of judging my progress based on what the scale says, I'm basing it on how am I doing at tracking, or how do I don't want to say feel right now, because I kind of feel not awesome. But that's not to do with my weight loss, just things that how my clothes are fitting and stuff like that. And it's been really helpful for me to just be patient and just keep going. So no big updates there, other than I'm super proud for how long I've been able to stick with my lifestyle changes, and how much they're just really feeling ingrained, so that even on days like Thanksgiving, where I just say, I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm not going to track anything today. I'm going to have a holiday and enjoy it, because one day is not going to ruin everything. But even then, I found that I just naturally was making choices because of how it would make me feel. So I just naturally made better health decisions than I normally would. So it's great to see how the progress in my habits is continuing. I began this process at the end of March. And so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it has been 8 months now of me just consistently working on my health, with no plans to change that in the future. It's just been so positive, and I definitely I'm lighter, I'm happier, and I feel better. For me, it's not about appearance. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm super happy to have improvements in appearance, or the way clothes fit, or things like that. But that's not the point. The point is to have energy and stamina and flexibility and mobility and all of those things that mean longer life and more experiences. Longer life, bigger life, better life. And so it's been a really positive time for me. So I tried to go through that really quickly, because I could definitely have gone on and on about any one of those topics, but I'm trying to keep it short because we have so much making to talk about. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about some finished objects. So last time I recorded, I talked about the upcoming knit along that I'm going to be doing about prayer shawls. It's going to be a prayer shawl. I'm going to say make along. And I am designing 2 patterns to go with that. And these patterns will have built-in devotionals into the pattern. So there will be a section like things to be thinking of and pondering and praying about while you're working on different sections of these patterns. And I have finished the designs for those. I've knit my samples and I'm so excited to share them with you. So let me get them. All right. So I am designing both of these to be using 1 skein of fingering weight yarn and 1 skein of mohair or Surrey alpaca, a lace weight fluff of some sort. And there are 2 separate focuses. So this first one is called Sacred Space. And this shawl, the devotionals will be focusing on building a connection between yourself and God, feeling his love for you, and you expressing your love for him. And so this one is a crescent-shaped shawl. And here it is. It has my favorite beautiful curly ends. And I think it just turned out beautiful. The lighting, as far as what I am seeing in my camera, is not doing me or this yarn any favors. It is so lovely in person with a really pale, kind of pinky lilac colored fingering weight yarn and a peachy mohair. It has this lovely little eyelet stripe section, the lace section, and then more eyelet stripes at the bottom. And I think it just turned out so beautiful. It's exactly what I was hoping it would be. And it's surprisingly, even though it has this lace here, this lace is not a hugely complicated lace. And everything else is very, very simple. You've got a little bit of seed stitch, you've got stockinette, garter stitch, and eyelets. And so just a really pretty version. So this is called Sacred Space. And I'm just really, really happy with it. It's so light. It's a lovely size. I mean, hard to show in the camera, but a lovely wearable size. I don't think it's too big or, you know, so huge that you can't really wear it. And because it's got that mohair, it's just super light and squishy. You could wear it like a scarf. You could drape it like a bandana type, you know, in the front. What am I trying to say? Like this. You can wear it over your shoulders and it's just so pretty and fun. So that is Sacred Space. The next one, this one is a wrap style. This one is called Lifted in Love. And this one, the devotionals with this pattern, will focus on praying for somebody else, thinking about them and praying for them and sending up well wishes for them. And the idea would be then you would give this as a gift. It also uses a skein of mohair and a skein of fingering weight yarn. And I just love these scallops. They're so pretty. I mean, maybe I shouldn't toot my horn that way, but I just think they're just so pretty. This pattern is knit one end to the center, then is placed on hold, and then the other end to the center, and then Kitchenered together in the middle. And I think it goes together almost seamlessly. I can see where I joined it, but yeah, I think it went together so beautifully. So that is the Lifted in Love wrap. I will be offering kits in my shop later this month for these for the wrap or for the shawl. Both of them, like I said, take 1 skein of fingering weight yarn and 1 skein of mohair. So 100 grams of fingering weight yarn and 50 grams of mohair. I recommend using a fingering weight yarn that has over 400 yards. So the yarn that I used for this did have 400 yards. I used it up. Like there was not much left. I don't have it right here, but my leftovers were quite small. I did use all the yarn. And so in order to have a little wiggle room, it's probably best to do something with 437 yards or even 463, depending on what your base is. But I really love how those turned out. I have decided to move that. I was originally talking about doing the knit along in January. January is a month that could really use some brightening up. However, in order to have the time that I'd really like to make sure that those patterns are the best that they can be, I need to get them through test knitters, and I just can't get that done through or before, before February. So the plan is to do this in February, which actually I think is a great time to do it because, you know, we focus on love. And so love for God, love for ourselves, love for our fellow man. We're going to do our prayer shawl knit along in February. Again, make along. The idea behind this is that you don't have to use my pattern or my yarn, pardon me. But in order to be entered for prizes, you need to use yarn or pattern from me. Had a little coughing fit. That tickle in my throat just gets me. Anyway, so if you are not Christian, you don't want to do a Christian prayer shawl, but you would like to do a meditation or you would like to bring your own faith into that, I want you to do that. I would love to have you join us. You don't have to do my pattern or participate in the devotionals. You can still use the pattern too, and then just skip the devotionals. That will be part of it if you want, and to do your own. And so you could use my pattern, use your own yarn, or use my yarn, use your own pattern, however you want to. But in order to be entered for prizes, you would need to do at least my yarn or my pattern for that prayer shawl make along in February. So little heads up on that. And there will be more information coming about that. All right. Next up, I have my cute niece who is having a baby, and we are doing a baby shower for her. She's part of my knitting group, and we're doing a baby shower for her this Saturday. And I have already told her that she can't watch my podcast until after the baby shower. So she knows not to look. I don't know if she watches it anyway, but she knows not to look. But I have made her this crocheted blanket. I'm just going to keep it folded in half. And I think it's so fun. She's having a boy, and she has made some of the most beautiful, just perfect little crocheted amigurumi Winnie the Pooh characters. And I don't know why, but for some reason, these colors seemed like they went with that. I'm not exactly sure what, I mean, I think we've got kind of the Winnie the Pooh yellow here, but it just felt like it to me. It felt 100 Acre Wood to me. I'll put the name of this pattern on the screen right here. It was a free pattern that I found, super easy to make. And the yarn that I used is actually from Hobby Lobby. It's Yarn Bee, and it's called this is what it's called. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the yarn. It's an acrylic and polyamide blend, worsted weight, and it is absolutely lovely. So surprisingly good. Like just really, really dreamy. It's got a great bounce to it. It's smooth and soft, but not like like there's some soft acrylic yarns that are almost like, I want to say gummy, like they feel slick. This doesn't feel that way. It feels a lot like almost like a cotton wool blend, but it's just great. I really, really enjoyed it. I would wear a sweater out of this. And it was really nice to work with. So just so fun. And I love how it turned out. Yeah, I've posted the name of the pattern. It was on Ravelry. I'll put a link to the pattern as well in the description box if you want to go follow that link. But it just is so fun, and I'm so excited to give it to her. There was also a family baby shower, and I was able to give her this little sweater. Posting the photo now. I wasn't able to be there that day, but my girls were there and they took it and gave it to her for me. And I actually knit that sweater quite a while ago, just waiting for a little boy that was going to be born in the winter for it. It is so tiny. It is a true newborn size, just itty bitty little thing. And so I also gave her that, and I think that she was excited about it. So it was just really fun to, I don't know, make some baby things. Just being able to focus on that. It was really fun. All right, next up, I have a big project that I'm working on. So this is kind of going to go between finished objects and then go into works in progress. So Aria, my daughter Aria, her husband's family, they had these Christmas stockings when they were growing up. And they were knit for them by their aunt's mom, I believe. So like their uncle's mother-in-law. She had designed them. Her name was Marilyn Armstrong, and she had designed these stocking patterns. There are so many different designs for the charts that go on them. And I know she used to sell them and stuff, but they're definitely ones that they were printed into like a packet and sold at knitting stores back in the day, kind of a long time ago. They're nowhere digitally, and she has passed away. These patterns are now just kind of, the family has them. And they have wanted, my son-in-law's brother, his name is Stuart, and he had wanted, this is his stocking. He had wanted to have them for his family. They have 2 little boys. This was a great memory for him, and he wanted to continue on this tradition. I had told Aria a long time ago that I was happy to help with that, and we just finally got around to making that happen. So this is the original one. I'm going to add some pupils to these eyes as per their request. But this was the original. Well, this was knit in the old classic Red Heart Super Saver yarn, which is not the same now. Red Heart yarn has changed a lot. It doesn't have as much, it's got more give to it. It's got more stretch now than it used to. And so I was super lucky. I got on eBay and I found some classic Red Heart yarn. A lady, she inherited her mom's yarn stash. She said it was an entire room full of yarn. We all know what that's like. And so she has been selling it on eBay, and I was able to get the yarn, and I believe it's the original colors as well. It's not, I can see a tiny difference in the red. Let me show you the first one that I made. So this one is for their son, and you can see the tiniest difference in that red. The green is definitely the same green, but the red is just ever so slightly oranger here than here. But I have been able to complete 2 of these stockings now. So they picked out the designs they wanted. I am still going to sew some buttons on this one to be the gumballs in the gumball machine. The design was just this, but I want to add that. They're excited about that. And then I have done this one, which is the train. Now, these are a combination of stranded color work and then intarsia. So they're seamed up the back. It's a little challenging because the pattern, the charts were not originally made in color. They were handmade charts, basically on a grid using different symbols for different colors. So X's, O's, lines, dots, stars, etc. I was really struggling I did okay. I got to about this point and then just was looking further down and thought, it's so hard to read. And I knew that for the train, and then the other one I'm working on, I'll show you the one that's in progress, is a gingerbread house. I knew that I was not going to be able to read those charts, or not in any way that I would enjoy it. So I got on my charting software that I use when I write patterns, and I created these charts in color, so that they could, I could see them, but I'm going to give them back to the family so they can have them as well. So I've got those 2 done, and then I have started on the next one. I'm about to begin work. I've just got the name on there. And I'm about to start into the design of the gingerbread house. So intarsia is not my favorite. It is not my favorite thing to do. There's just so many strands of yarn. If you look at like this area right here, for example, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 different white strands and 3 different green strands of yarn all at the same time. And you have to be constantly crossing those strands as you change colors. And so everything just becomes this tangled mess, and there's all these strands hanging down. Down here, I had white, green, red, black. I still had my green attached here because it's got a line of green underneath it. Red and white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands of yarn at once that I had attached. That was a lot. It was too much. So when you get to the end of a color and you get to cut it off, it's like, such a relief. But they are so excited about this. Oh, and they paid for the yarn because it wasn't, you think, oh, Red Heart Super Saver. No, vintage Red Heart Super Saver that you have to have shipped to you. Not inexpensive anymore. But they paid for the yarn. I know that they would pay me, but honestly, the way I feel about it is nobody can afford to pay me to knit for them. And I would rather just do it out of the kindness of my heart than get paid like way less than what I'm worth and then have it bother me. I'd rather just do it as a gift. And they're such a cute family. So I'm really happy that I'm able to help them out. I've been sending them pictures and they're just so excited. So yep, this is where I am. And this won't take me too long. I'm able to get one of these done in a couple of days. That's a lot of knitting each day, but when you've been sick with a cold, there's not a lot to do but knit and watch a show or something. I finished watching all of Gilmore Girls finally. That was an adventure. And then I've watched all of the miniseries of War and Peace, which I absolutely love. Anyway, I've been working on things, not just while I was doing these stockings, but while I've been working on projects. So anyway, coming along, and I will definitely have enough left over that if they have more children, I'll be able to knit at least a couple more with the yarn that I got. So that will be good. All right, work in progress. And of course, I am in the middle of a row, so hold on just a minute. Okay, I am making the Schnee cardigan for my daughter-in-law. And it is this beautiful moss stitch V-neck cardigan. It's a drop shoulder, and I love the garter stitch detail at the shoulder, as well as this seam, this fake seam that kind of goes down the sides. It's an oversized cardigan. I'm a little worried about how oversized it's turning out. I did gauge swatch and go based off her measurements, but I think it always looks bigger when that's a drop shoulder, because this is actually coming down to here. So I have to remember that. Actually, just reminding myself that made me feel better. Sometimes when you're doing a drop shoulder sweater, when I'm doing that, I always think, oh no, this is going to be so big, because I'm thinking of it being clear up here at the shoulder. And I'm like, why is it that wide? That's why, because it's not there, it's here. And this even has that shaping here at the armhole, you know, this underarm where it comes out. So that is how far I've gotten since the arms. I'm planning on making this a little, my daughter-in-law is petite. She's, I think 5'1", maybe 5'2". But I know her really well enough to know she loves things that are longer, mid-thigh. For her, this will be the kind of thing she would throw on over anything. And so that's what I'm working on. And I'm super excited to see how this blocks up and just evens out and everything. It's just seed stitch now, working straight, or excuse me, moss stitch. And so, you know, 1 by 1 rib for the entire body of that. But I'm really excited about that for her, and I'm really making progress on it. I went really fast until I had separated the arms. And then I put it aside while I've been working on the designs for the shawl and the wrap and gifts for Claire and all those things that I've been doing. But now I've got it back out, and I'm really just cruising along on it. It's kind of slow going, but that is okay. I am using this beautiful yarn that is new to me. It's a new to me base. I do plan on adding it to my shop, but I like to finish a significant project with a yarn before I decide to add it to my shop. I'm pretty sure I will be adding this, but it is a single ply DK weight yarn that is a merino, alpaca, and silk blend. And it is just lovely. It's so soft. It's got this beautiful halo. I call it marshmallowy. The single ply construction is going to take dye beautifully, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm excited to play around with it, but I really wanted this one to be just in its natural undyed color, beautiful neutral, something that she will really enjoy. So that is coming along well. The nice thing about a drop shoulder sweater or cardigan is that once you finish the body and you go back to do the sleeves, those sleeves go lickety split. much faster than when you're doing even a raglan, or, because usually a raglan's going to end about here, where a drop shoulder is going to come clear here, and you don't have as many decreases to do because it's already at a narrower point on your body. So it'll go quite quickly. I will be adding pockets. I do not remember if the pattern has pockets already on it or not. I don't think it does, but I will be adding them either way. I haven't printed this one out yet. It's all just digital. I've been looking at my iPad when I do it. I haven't looked at it for a while because I'm just working straight. There's no shaping or anything right now. I'm just working straight. So I haven't even looked at the pattern recently, but it's coming along. But we had decided we were going to do our Christmas gift exchange on December 14th. So I have, what's today? I have 12 days to finish that. Oh my goodness. What on earth? Okay, now I'm panicking. Yeah, 12 days to finish all the gifts for my children. Well, at least for my grown kids and my grandson. Yeah, this year is not a Clausen Christmas. They'll be with their in-laws this year for Christmas. And so we're doing our gift exchange on the 14th. So yeah, I've got to really hightail it. I've got to get moving. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm actually pretty dang fast. It's just, I've had so many different things I was working on all at the same time. But now I'm starting to do that thing where I just finish. So it's going to be okay. Deep breaths. It's going to be okay. You tell me it's going to be okay. All right, let's talk about books. Oh my goodness. I finished reading through book 8 of the Emma M. Lyon, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon by Beth Brower. I've been talking about these for the last couple episodes. I thought there were 8 total books in the series. No. There's 8 books released so far in the series, but there are going to be like 24 books in this series. Oh my goodness. That means she's got 16 more books coming, and she plans on releasing them 2 a year. 8 more years. 8 more years. 8 years. What? Oh, they're so good. Everybody I know who has read these books is obsessed with them. Like, you just love them so much. So if you have read them and haven't liked them, especially if you read more than just one and you haven't really gotten into it, I want to know about it because I have not heard anybody who has had that experience. They are so fun. And I also didn't know that the author is local to me. She lives here in Utah. And that's not surprising to me. We have a huge population of extremely accomplished authors in Utah. I mean, some of the biggest authors, like we've got, Brandon Sanderson and Brandon Mull and Shannon Hale and James Dashner, they're all from Utah, and there's a ton more, tons and tons more. But I didn't know that Beth Brower was, so that was really cool. Absolutely love these books, but now I just don't know what I'm going to do until the next one comes out. They're so fun. There's so many questions and so many mysteries and so many theories. My girls and I love to come up with our different theories and share them with each other. Different theories about some of the characters like Hawks and Islington and Pierce and what we think is going to happen and who we think Emma's going to end up with and what the mystery is about the Roman. Anyway, so many different things. So I've loved these books and I just cannot wait for the next one. I definitely think I will be doing Emma M. Lyon inspired colorways. I have a whole list that I've been making of some of the colorway names that I would love to use. For those of you who are Emma M. Lyon fans, you will recognize things like the Drunken Duck and the Reprobates 10, just to name a couple of them. So I've got a lot of fun things coming up with that. Once I finished Emma M. Lyon, the book 8 of that one, I picked up another book that I have actually really, really enjoyed. And that book is called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's by Susanna Clarke. And it's so fascinating to me. It's written, the book is, I would say it's fantasy in nature, magical. There's magic involved in it. But it is written, it takes place during the Napoleonic Wars in England, some in Europe as well, but primarily in England. It reads like Charles Dickens, even though he was much later than that. It's so impeccably written, absolutely phenomenally written. The characters, in some cases, are almost like caricatures, which is one of the reasons that I say it reads like Dickens. Dickens has this way of taking kind of a human characteristic like greed or vanity or generosity or humility and epitomizing that characteristic within one of his characters. So that when you read that character, they're, like I said, a caricature. Everything is very exaggerated, but done in a way to illustrate a point. And I feel like that is how Susanna Clarke wrote this book. It's so superb. It's whimsical, but also kind of gritty and romantic and dangerous and mysterious and absolutely fascinating and so character driven, which is definitely my favorite. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. There is a mini series that was made based on this, which they did a really good job. Now that I have watched it and read this, I am very impressed. It is not a 100% faithful retelling because it would be hard to do that in a mini series. But dang, it is pretty darn close. It is pretty, it really does stay true to the nature of the characters and their personalities and the reasons they make decisions, and the plot points are quite close. There's some simplification of some things, but man, it is good. It is so good. And what's funny, the reason that I ended up reading this is a couple of years ago, I actually ended up watching this mini series. I didn't realize at the time that it was still coming out. It was being released at the time. And so I watched through episode 5 and it just ended. And like the story didn't resolve or anything. And I was like, what on earth? There's no more episodes. There's only 5 episodes. And I think I Googled something along the lines of, is there going to be a season 2? And it said, no, there's not going to be a season 2 because it tells the story of the book. And then that's the end of the book. And so that's the end of the season. Not realizing there were still 2 more episodes. So, but I remember really liking the series, but I don't know. I have this brain where I forget things enough that I can enjoy them again. And so I was looking for something to watch, and while I was working on all my many, many projects, and it came up as I was scrolling, and I thought, well, I remember liking that. What was it about it? And I went and looked and saw there were 2 more episodes. And so I watched the whole thing again, and it totally resolves and completes and everything. And I just really loved it. And so I loved it so much that I decided to read the book, and I started the book the next day and just really, really enjoyed it. So I think that it's been out for just over 20 years. The book has, but it reads really like it was written in 1812. I think that that's so hard to do. I think it's really hard for modern authors to be able to write in a style that fits so well into the mood that classic literature creates. I think they're both valuable, and I'm not knocking modern authors in any way, but it's just our own ideas and our own experiences with the world really color the way that we describe things or the things that we see as valuable or whatever. And she wrote that book like she was an author writing in the 1800s. I mean, it is so really cool how she did that. It was so good. So if you want something, something that reads like Dickens, but takes place during the Napoleonic Wars and has magic, but not Harry Potter magic. I mean, very different. Yeah, definitely look into it. It was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And now I don't know what to read. I really don't know what to read. I'm having a book hangover because I came right off of Emma M. Lyon and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and now I'm just stuck. I've tried to start like 3 different books, and I'm like, no, it's not working for me. Definitely having a book hangover. So give me your recommendations. Even if you've recommended them before, recommend them again. I need some ideas. All right, let's talk about some shop news. I have so much to talk about. You guys, I have got designs and yarn, and I've already talked about the knit along. So I'll leave that there. So first off, I get to show you my bountiful scarf, my bountiful shawl. My apologies. This was the design that came in my gratitude box for the Beauty of the Earth box in November. And this is what it looks like. And I've been so excited to share it with you. I love it so much. It has this beautiful little leafy border. And this original size uses 7 mini skeins. It never uses more than about 14 grams for any one of the minis. Like this is the one that uses the most. And so you can definitely use scraps. I just love it. It's so much fun. And this pattern is now available. It's on Ravelry, it's on Etsy, and it's in my shop at yarnberry.com. And this is the bountiful shawl. And what's really fun, here's some photos that my lovely friend Amy took for me. She also knit one of these. The first one that you saw was Amy wearing the one she knit out of the mini skeins that came in that box. But I really love this mini version. The mini version only uses about 18, was it 18 or 20? No, it was just over 20. I lied. It was like 30 grams of yarn. 30 grams of yarn for the mini version. And I think it is so pretty. I just really love that. So this little scarf shawl, I called it a shawl, but it's, a shawlette. So anyway, it's just so fun. You could do it in a solid color. You can definitely do it out of 1 skein of yarn. You could do the mini version out of scraps. Such a great little gift knit. And I was going to tell you what this original size weighs. Yep, 73 grams. So 1 skein of yarn is plenty to knit this darling little thing. I'm really proud of this really pretty little leafy border. I've seen this border on other designs. They've always been on the other side, worked where the free edge was the right side of your knitting. And I don't know why, but for some reason, the way my brain works, if I'm knitting end to end, the free edge, the bottom edge is on the right for me instead of on the other side. I think I said that backwards earlier, but so I was able to transpose that, which meant some changes in the pattern, and put it into this little shawl. And I just think it's so sweet. So that is the Bountiful shawl. And it is now available. In addition, I am releasing this pattern tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 3rd, December 3rd. So if you're watching this video on after that, it's already out. This is my cedar scarflet. And this is the mini version of the cedar scarflet. It's just a really, again, fun little scarf. It's knit from end to end with a sweet little lace zigzag pattern. This one, this size, used under 40 grams. And this full size one, which is extremely long, I've got it wrapped, knotted, and it's hanging down. This was knit with 100 grams of yarn, a fingering weight yarn. And I knit this one in my yak sock base. Excuse me. So again, here's some photos of the cedar scarflet. I just think it is a beautiful, again, fun for a gift knit, great for the winter, great way to use up a single skein or a precious scrap. So those two patterns are out and available now, and I hope you love them. All right, as far as yarn goes, I'm getting a little warm, so I'm going to take this off. As far as yarn goes, the final installment of the Shire Club is now in the shop as well. And so December, the theme is The Road Goes Ever On and On. I love, I have this little funny thing that I like to do where I will turn on YouTube, like, oh, what is it called? It's like, good heavens, my brain is gone blank. It's where they like display a scene on the screen, and there's just like background ambiance music playing. And there's one that is the Shire that shows like a picture or kind of video of Bag End, and just has music going along with it. And there is, from the Hobbit movies, there's the song, The Road Goes Ever On and On. And it's just kind of, instrumental. But I think that at some point somebody sings it. But anyway, I just love listening to that one because it plays in the background. And so whenever I say The Road Goes Ever On and On, I hear it. I can't sing it for you right now because of my throat, but it's just in the background of in the back of my mind. Do you guys ever do those videos? I can't remember what they're called right now. What do they call them? Oh, it's like 4D. Is that what it is? 4D videos? I think that's what it is. There's a whole bunch of them. You can do like a Christmas scene, or find like sitting in a English pub while it's raining outside, or I don't know, anything like that. It's like ambiance. And those are fun to do. I will do those regularly. You can find one with the fireplace, and it's got like a Christmas tree, and there's just the sounds of like the crackling fireplace or rain hitting the window. And then there's some little background music and stuff. They're just kind of nice to have on sometimes, especially because I work from home, and, Richard's at work, Abby's at work, And so I'm home by myself a lot during the day. And so I will often turn something like that on just in the background, just make my day a little more magical. Anyway, so I think about that. Anyway, that was a whole tangent, but The Shire is now released and it is going to be the last installment. For those of you who would like to see, I'm going to show the picture of November's yarn, which was Hobbiton. And everybody should have that by now. And yeah, it's been some time, so that shouldn't be ruining anybody's surprise. But here is what that looks like. And that was a really fun one. All right. I have also, just because I've had a couple requests for this, and I think that at this time of year, these always get popular again. I have got some little house colorways back in the shop. I've restocked Maple Sugar Party and Winter in the Big Woods. And so those are both there. And then I mentioned this last time, Jane Austen's 250th birthday is next week. So I have restocked some of my favorite Jane Austen colorways. So here they are. First off, I have Most Ardently. Then there's Handsome Enough to Tempt Me. This is probably, I don't know. It's one of my favorites. Next is Grounds at Pemberley. All three of those are Pride and Prejudice colorways. And then this one is from Emma. I love Emma. Emma gets a bad rap sometimes. I love Emma. So good. And this one is called Made the Match Myself. So I've put those 4 in the shop and they are available now. I think that is everything that I had to share with you. So I'm going to keep working on my projects. I hope you have such a wonderful December. I hope that all of your projects that you're working on go super well, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.